All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another VR Master League interview. Today we have Schottenframe from Hell from Above, a recent rookie tournament winner. And we're going to interview him, get his thoughts on things. So let's talk to him. What is your role on your team?
So, like we were kind of talking, and I kind of said, don't really have an official title yet. I'm kind of like just the social butterfly of the team. I kind of go through and focus on recruiting, and then reaching out for sponsorships, and then setting up through scrims and stuff like that. So even though I'm not the captain, I kind of help Dalish with whatever he needs, whatever he kind of shoots my way. So really, I would kind of just say the social butterfly of the team. Just get out, meet new people, see who's out there, see different play styles, try to find out what we're doing week on, what we could do better on, and then when we all get together, kind of put the notes of everything that I just stated in one piece, and then push it off to them and see what they think and where we can go.
Yeah, so I mean that's the role of a captain is the delegate, right? So Dalish
Yeah,
is actually your captain. So what's your
yeah,
current
correct.
roster look like? What's your team makeup?
So, Dalish and Awesome Bob were actually the first two on there for forever. And when I first started playing Onward, I played a game with them, I think, on Subway, and I didn't even know they were on a VRML at the time. I had no idea what competitive play was. I had no idea what the scene was. And I went like a week or two with never seeing them again. It was kind of like starting a game out and you don't know how to add people and you don't know how to search names. So we broke contact, and then like 2 weeks later, found them again in another lobby. They were kind of talking about having a team together, and they told me if I clutched around, then I could have a position on the team. So thankfully, I clutched the round that needed to be clutched, added on the team, and then that's when I found out about competitive. So then we had Wookie Oreo, who was already on the team at the time, me, Dalish, Awesome Bob, which they had been playing together for about 3 or 4 months. And then recently, within this last tournament, we picked up our fifth position, which is a side of beans, which now goes by Little Aiden. So we'll see if he continues that name or not, or if he's going to change it once again. But he's our youngest player at 13 right now. And then we have a reserve that's on our team right now. We'll see if he ends up staying with us or not. I know he's been busy with some life stuff, and we possibly have 2 to 3 more positions that we're looking to actually get filled. So
So, out of all your players, how much actual experience in Onward or in VR in general do you have? Like, is this your first VR game?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I actually used to be a manager at a VR store in a mall, like kind of those PlayStation setups that you see where people come in and like rent up time and they get to play for X amount of time. And I at the end of closing up would actually jump on, we had HTC Vives, and I would jump on a Vive and I found this game, and I would play it after hours. And this was probably back in like 2016, like 2017. So probably I'm guessing the game was like familiarly like new back then. So I played it for hours and hours and hours. And back then Oculus was a new thing. Not everybody could go and grab it and afford it, like the computer and the GPU and the monitors and the headset and controllers and everything that comes along with. Um, so from 2016, 2017, again, kind of lost contact with it. And then recently, like I said, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, kind of picked up the Oculus Quest 2 and started playing again. And now I have a computer to run it as well. So I run Rift Link through my computer and started playing, just picked it back up and fell in love with it. And that's honestly, this is the game that made me want to buy a Quest. If it wasn't for this game, I possibly would probably still do Rainbow Six on PC or like COD Modern Warfare. So, other than me playing around at the mall just every now and then, I would say within the last like 3 to 4 weeks, I've probably put in like 180, 185 hours now. So again, there kind of climbing the ropes a little bit, but there's so much to learn in this game, so it's definitely taking its time.
Yeah, I feel that this is definitely the game that also made me want to buy VR. Right? You saw like Lonely Vipers clips and whatnot, and you're like, "Oh man, that looks
Yeah,
so cool! I want to do that." And so I did. Um, so how did
yeah. I
you?
found out that this game was on Quest, and I was like, "Yep, I'm picking one up." Like, if you're telling me that if I buy this Quest that I can play Onward in my freaking house, then yeah, I'm grabbing one. And sure enough, bought one, and here we are.
So are the rest of your team? Are they also playing on Quest, or do you have a mix of PC VR and Quest?
So I'm only the only PC VR, which I know there'll probably be some arguments there because people still say I'm on a Quest at the end of the day, even though I play through Steam and play through my actual computer. But yeah, the rest of the team, they all play Quest. We're all on Quest 2s.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I
Which is
think
cool
that's
because, like
yeah.
I said, and it's kind of like the back and forth argument. I mean, we talk about this in threads all day. It comes down to it's affordable, and we're all younger kids. Like I said, our youngest player is at the age of 13. He can't afford $1,000 headset and then another $8 to $1,000 PC to in order to run it. And then
Right.
same, like I think Dalish is about 25, 26. Aiden, like I said, is 13. Wookiees in his younger 20s, and then Awesome Bob is like 17, 18. So, like I said, we all run Oculus, and it's not that we don't wish we could possibly, grab something else or like the more powerful headsets, but the Oculus Quest 2 has just been, with this day and age, like so much more affordable, and you can use it. And even though I play through PC and I run a wire, like you don't need to anymore. You
Right.
don't need to like set up cameras on this wall or mount hardware on this wall or have like the most perfective lighting. Of course, you've got to have it for the rays to connect to the controllers and back to the headset. But the Quest 2 just makes it so much easier to link up and actually be able to play these games that are normally only for the PC VR crowd. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm on Quest 2 now, but I play via virtual desktop, so I totally feel that. It just
yeah.
made it so much easier to deal with, especially moving around and things like that. All right, so you guys just won the Onward Rookie Bootcamp Spring Tournament, and what were your expectations going into that? I know you said you played with your team a couple of times in comp lobbies. You just found each other. So how much prep time did you have? Did you play with your team? Like how did you go about it? I mean, give me a rookie's
So
perspective on
honestly,
starting.
one thing that I especially noticed from playing Rainbow Six competitively is how we kind of just talked about playing in a public comp lobby and building that confidence and having that confidence. Of course, going into an actual competitive scene where, public comp to competitive is two different things. Even though you may have the confidence in a public comp lobby, stepping into that competitive scene and playing with more strategic and tactical players, especially in a game like Onward, where I mean anything comes down to it, to your strats, to your communication, to the way you lean, to the way you peek a corner, to the way you kneel, to the way you crouch. We had the confidence going into it, and every team wants to say, yeah, we knew we were going to took it. Yeah, we knew we would go all the way. But honestly, we just built our confidence and we went in kind of with our heads held high and um, kept humble throughout the thing. We honestly didn't want to get our hopes up super, super high. Like each time we won a game, we told ourselves like, okay, if there's one more, there's a next one. Like we've got another one to prove. We got another game to prove ourselves. And when we kind of lost that first game, man, we were devastated. That first game put us down. And sitting there, we were kind of thinking, and we joined a lobby immediately after that, and we're talking about, okay, like what did we do wrong? What points did we lose? How did we lose these points? And it was kind of objective based, and we didn't really have communication upon our team of where we were necessarily watching what. And to be quite honest with you, I thought it was one round elimination. So me right then and there, I thought we were done. I thought we were out. I was devastated. Um, it sucked because knowing that you put so much time into a game, and back to answer another question you just asked me, spending a week to 2 weeks at a time to prepare for this specific day, and then all of a sudden you get first rounded, sucks. That is really, really hard, and it's hard to swallow. So we ended up sitting there, and next thing I know, I get a Discord notification. Get back on. We have another game. We're not done. So to go from losing that one game and then jumping back in, like I said, getting our confidence back up. Okay, these are the maps we're going to play. These are the rules we're going to play by. And then going from game to game to game to game and playing against these other very skilled teams and these other teams who have put in just as much time, if not more, man, it was awesome. And coming out and being able to play the team we've got first rounded by in the finals and being able to take both 2 out of 3 maps from them to take the whole thing, there's no better feeling. And as I kind of stated, getting into a public comp lobby and then going into competitive play is kind of two different variables. So going from the rookie tournament, and then when our day finally comes that we're able to get our time in an actual VRML Pro League game, I'm gonna say we'll have the same humbling mindset and the same confidence, and hopefully we'll be able to prove ourselves that we can actually hang with the pros and be able to hold our own ground.
Well, I could tell you that the first three matches are definitely a humbling experience because you start out
Yeah,
right around 1200 MMR, which is middle of the field in the North America Cup, and you're going to play some teams that are definitely above you. But once
yeah,
those first three are over, it's all good. Then you're
yeah.
placed on the rankings, and everything just works from there.
I think that
So
kind of has like a bid set of doing it as well. Once we're able to play some of these other teams that have been around since season, let's say even 5 or season 6, like because we're getting ready to start up to 11 now. So being able to go with them and these guys that have 1,500 hours, 1,200 hours, 1,700 hours, it will for sure be humbling. But we hope to learn from them and make up from our mistakes and get ready to come and play. And like I said, bring it all we got.
So you haven't actually played in the league yet, but as a new player to the league, is there one thing that you would possibly change to improve, or that you think the league could improve on? Are you confused about anything like? Where do you need help? What's hard for a rookie?
I think the biggest thing, and it kind of goes with starting out, any new team creating a name for itself, there's those people that want to jump on a team just to say they're on the team, but at the same time, those may be the people that don't necessarily play the best with you or share the same play style. The hardest thing for this has been getting our set 5 and then not picking up the next person who immediately comes to us and says they want to play for us. Even though we don't have a name for ourselves, we did win that rookie tournament, and people kind of notice that. So when they see us in lobbies, they ask us, like, do you have an open position? Are you guys recruiting? And yes, we are, and it's hard to either turn people away or play with people for weeks upon a time to make sure that they fit with not only our play style, but we bond together as a team. We bond together as a family. So I would say like one of the most difficult things is the recruitment process and is building that brand, building that name, and putting a team together that when you do lose and when you do get beaten, you're going to form back together as a team and find out what you did wrong and what the negatives were and how you can build from them. One thing that I feel like does happen in the competitive scene a lot is people jump on teams and they lose and they disband like that as quick as they are put together, and we try not to be that. One thing about the league, I feel like everything has been pretty well. I haven't, of course, been in an actual VRML match, so I'm not too sure how that's going to play out. I'm sure I'll have questions as it comes along the way. But I really am impressed by not only you guys as the casters and the people that took their time out of their free will and their free day to come and cast that rookie tournament for us. Like, you guys didn't have to be there. You guys didn't have to put that on. That didn't have to take place. So I'm very impressed by the community, and I'm very impressed by the content that we want to push out. And I think that needs to continue in order for the community to grow and build. Um, Other than that, like, everything's been pretty squared away. I'm really happy with the game. I'm really happy with the way that so many different servers and so many different communities have come together to put on tournaments to improve your skill. And so far, the community is really, really well put together. It's kind of like the everyone knows everyone, but at the same time, it's big enough to where you always find new people in lobbies. Another thing that's nice about it is not everybody is so super toxic like CSGO or like Rainbow Six, where you jump into every other lobby and it's an absolute fest. So, no, so far I've actually really, really enjoyed it, and I've really, really liked it. And ever since playing in that rookie tournament and playing onward, I haven't jumped back to another game. This is all I play every day, and so far I'm still clinging on to it.
That's how a lot of people are. They find onward and they never go back.
Yeah.
And I
Man,
mean,
I tried playing Call of Duty the other day. Jumped on Warzone with some friends, and I don't know if it was
it's not
my
the same.
eyes or what, dude. I was losing it. Like, I could not play a pancake. Like, I was literally felt so weird trying to move my mouse and using WASD. My eyes were freaking out on me.
Yeah, most of the people that play onward never ever go back to flat gaming.
Yeah.
Speaking of flat gaming, so pre onward, pre VR, what were your favorite? What are your top games in VR and out of VR? I mean, do you play anything else other than onward?
Yeah, so I'm a huge car person in real life, so of course I always absolutely love the like Forza Horizon series, the motorsports and the actual Horizons. I play that kind of on my downtime. Um, when it comes to FPSs, man, of course, like the original Call of Duties, I feel like all of us, if it wasn't Halo, it was Call of Duty. If it wasn't Call of Duty, it was Halo. And I fell in love with both of those. I played those kind of competitively as I was growing up. I played the first, not the first, but Rainbow Six when it
Mm-hmm.
first came out. I think was it Xbox 360 or Xbox One?
Xbox
The
One,
Rainbow Six
Rainbow
that was
Six
huge
Three.
in MLG.
Yeah,
Yeah, when
yeah.
MLG picked it up and they had their own custom map too. I absolutely love that, and that's what kind of got me into the Rainbow Six series. Then I played Rainbow Six Siege, played that competitively for an actual minor league team, and that was my first competitive experience that I have ever had. And then after Siege, kind of just floated, played Call of Duty for the fun of it. And then this is actually the first game that I've, kind of released coming out of retirement, quote unquote, from competitive play and trying to get back into.
So, with all that experience that you've had in flat shooters, if you could add one feature to Onward, what would you want to see added to the game?
Man, I feel like the list goes on and on and on. And it's not that like the devs or the community hasn't done anything well themselves. Like the game is awesome. Um, but there's so many different things. Honestly, I think it would be awesome to kind of redo our point system, what you take away and what you add on. For example, something as minor as like getting rid of your pistol for an extra point. Because I
Mhm.
never have a pistol on me. I always throw it on the ground. Because for some reason, whenever I get shot and I try to revive myself, I pull my pistol instead of grabbing my syringe. So, restructuring a point system such as that would be awesome. It would be really, really cool. I know people argue about adding doors and stuff and like climbable ladders, and
Mhm.
like I see the plus in it, but at the same time, I feel like one thing that kind of shot Rainbow Six Siege down the hill is like they added anything and everything from the community to where it became too much and became overwhelming. And I hope Onward doesn't go that way. So if anything, I hope they kind of stay simplistic like where they are right now and kind of just focus on the foundation and the main features of the game and continue on. I mean, a party system would be awesome. I think anybody and everybody wants that, but at the same time, I don't really have an issue finding my friends in a lobby and joining in on them. Um, my biggest thing, I think it'd be cool just for new weapons, like minor stuff. New weapons, maybe a few new maps, other than those that are coming from the community. But pretty much other than that, like I would say the game's pretty steady and I'm really liking it. I just hope they continue to push out these updates and focus on these main features and fix these bugs that some people are finding in games.
Yeah, there are a decent amount of features, but I think you touched on most of the main requests that we've been hearing over time with from
Mhm.
the veteran and rookie league players all the same. They want some of those things,
I
just to
think it
add
would
some
be really
spice.
cool to get kinda yeah, and a stat system would be awesome. I think it
That
would
is
be
in the
kinda cool to
works.
go in and, like, see oh, is it really?
Yes, that's on their
See,
roadmap.
like, your own, like, KD,
Hmm.
system, see, like, your most used weapon, maybe, like, a figure, like a person. I forgot what game had this. Maybe it was Rainbow Six. One game had or maybe it was Call of Duty, like a figure of a person, and it had like heat soakers, like heat
Hmm.
dots of
Where
where
you
like
shot
you
the
mostly
most. Yeah.
shot at. Yeah, that would be really cool. I think that would be awesome, and it's also kind of those same things that would like help with in gameplay. Like, okay, this is where I'm shooting the most. Maybe if I'm always hitting in the leg or the torso, like I need to bring my aim up. Why am I always shooting so low? Or opposite, maybe you're always aiming for the head, and that's why you're missing two out of those three shots before you get that headshot. Maybe even though it's a good shot, you need to come down lower to get more accuracy and more hits on target. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of that to help in self improve like your own game skill would be phenomenal for this game.
Yeah, those quality of life improvements are something that everyone wants in
Yeah.
their game. Once you get the core mechanics down, you got to do those kinds of things to keep your players you know in the game.
I'm actually really excited for that. I didn't know that they were working on that.
Hmm. Yep, that's in their monthly sit reps. I don't know if you've read those, but they're
Mhm.
I'll send you a link afterwards. But they
Yeah, that'd
definitely
be
have
awesome.
all that information and some charts and stuff, new feature
Yeah,
teasers, things like that.
that'd be
Um,
great.
so okay, so the gamer tag, your gamer tag is shot in frame. Where did that
hmm
come from?
So I don't know if you know it. I'm actually on Instagram. My Instagram is and I'm not trying to self plug. This is just a story. I'm actually a photographer in real life, and that's kind of where the name came from. As you can see, this is my Canon 70D. This
Pretty.
is what I shoot with. I actually do automotive photos and then some self portraits. Other than that, I'm a competitive shooter, IRL. So I also shoot competitive in USPSA, which is a
Oh
national
yeah,
league.
man after my own
Um,
heart.
Man, it's a lot of fun and I absolutely love it. So it was originally It Shots Fired, and I kind of decided to swap it after that to something more original and what I felt kind of mashed the two together and then also mashes my gameplay. So if you don't know, I have three things: photography, shooting guns, and gaming. Those are my three specific hobbies. So Shot in Frame kind of just bonds all those names into one and just kind of fits for me. And I also feel like I really, really like it. It's original. Even though people call me shooting or shot in, what have I got? I got shot in flame. I get that all the time in game lobbies. If it's not shooting in frame, it's shot in flame. But I really like that name, and like I said, I kind of just sat down and wanted to mash the three together, and that's what I came with.
That's a good That's a good name. I think it fits. And
I
be
appreciate
prepared.
it.
The casters cannot read. We just make names
Yeah.
up as we go.
I
So
saw
you
I
will
saw
be
after the
butchered. Just
rookie
keep a
tournament.
list. Just yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the rookie tournament. People were saying, "Hey, just so you guys know, this is how I say my name or this is how my name is said." I don't think anyone butchered mine. I think I was good, but I did see some of those comments. That's funny.
Yeah, we just make it up as we go. We don't care. We just like
Yeah,
the sound of our
sometimes
own
you have
voice.
to. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes you have to, especially if you don't have a pre-sheet with like the dots and the syllables. Man, some of these names and
Yeah.
gamer tags you see in game can be tough, I'm sure.
Well, so you said you had some open spots, but you're not looking for
Mhm.
just anybody. Do you want to do a quick
Yeah.
plug and put out a recruiting message to the
Yeah.
people?
Absolutely. So like I said, we go and of course everybody wants the best player and everyone wants those top tier, whether it's they bring strategy or they bring aggression or they bring more of a defensive play. Um, we kind of want the best, of course, but we also want somebody we can mold and we can work with ourselves. And that's kind of why in our server, if you join our Discord server, Hell from Above, which there's a link on our VRML page, we offer like a boot camp. And every so often we'll go in game and teach what we've learned and what's better us as players. Because even if you're not the best player at the time, we're able to mold you into that and boost your skill up. And we can get you into kind of a competitive scenario. And we see that in comp, you can still be on our team. So I would say definitely kind of what I've put in some of the posts, which I'm sure you've seen, is competitive play would be awesome if they do. If they don't, as long as we can mold them, that's perfect as well. We're able to work with that. Um, Experience the game is the biggest thing, at least putting hours in and time in. Real life comes first, and it's always a priority. But at the same time, being able to get on at least every other day or at least 3 days a week or 4 days a week, and spend time improving and working on your skill level and working on your shots and being able to self-criticize yourself and know what you have to improve on and know what you have to work with. And that's another thing, being able to open up and being like, hey, this is why I'm dying. This is why I'm not getting my shots. Okay, we can work with you on that and let's see what we can do to mold you into a better player. So like I said, if you think you've got what you've got and you are a competitive player and you are good, we would love to have you. If you're new to the game or you are still wanting to learn, and you're kind of at that mid range in between where like you feel comfortable and you're doing good in competitive lobbies, but you also don't know if you're there for actual competitive play, kind of where we are right now and where we're molding to, we'll still take you as well. So if you ever see us in a competitive lobby, feel free to join and let us see how you do and let us see how you teamwork and you communicate. And like I said, the biggest thing is being able to self criticize and fall back on what you did negatively during that round or during that game and being able to learn from it and then push forward and let's see you improve and let's see you do better. So if you feel like you have that good personality, you're able to self-criticize and move forward, like I said, we'll take you. We would love to have anybody and everybody there. We do have, like you said, only 2 to 3 spots right now. They are reserved positions. Even though they are reserved positions, you do have opportunity to play. You do have opportunity to grow. Just because you won't be on the starter five doesn't mean you won't be playing any games. I hate for people to think that. Some people think if you're not on the starter five, you're just going to be sitting in the background. That's not true for us at all. Like I said, life does come first. There's times I can't make it. There's times where Dalish can't make it. There's times where little Aiden has gotten in trouble and he's not able to make it because he didn't get the perfect score on his spelling test the last week. And so, like I said, there will be opportunity to play. So, if you kind of fit that criteria that I just matched, like I said, shoot us a message, join our Discord, come play with us. If not, just to see what we're about so we can see what you're about and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, as a captain that had to recruit during the last season, I definitely feel where you're coming from, and recruiting does suck. But
It
I
takes
think you're
so
on the
much
right
time.
path. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the mentality you have is the same thing that we had.
Hmm.
Where and a lot of top teams have. They don't care if you're the best player if you
Hmm.
can learn because they're good players. They will teach you how to play.
Yeah. And that's the
So
thing, if you
yeah,
can mold and if you can learn to that, then that's all you need. It's kinda like I've seen teams in Rainbow Six where they get, like, star player and star player and star player and star player from different teams, and they form their own team. Well, that's good, and you guys are all star players, but then you guys, like, either ego clash and you're not getting a balanced whenever it comes to communication and like egos start
yep.
forming together and smashing together and you guys are competing for kills more than you're being strategic or focusing on the actual gameplay and those teams seem to fall apart. So we're kind of set on, as you kind of just stated, if we're able to teach you and we're able to get you formed into the player that we want you to be, then we're all for you, rather than you already coming from a top tier team and being used kind of to that top tier play. So like I said, we're accepting anybody. So anyone who wants to come and try out, we'd love to have them if they would love to be with us. That's the biggest thing.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Hell from Above. They have a Discord link in their VR Master League page. So if you need to join it, go check that out and start talking to them. I mean, you can never have too many friends in game. It's always fun.
Yeah,
It's always more fun
absolutely.
when you can find a nice lobby to play in.
That's the cool thing. Another thing you were talking about the VRML scene that you asked me earlier is everyone I've met so far, but like one or two people that are in the competitive scene have always been super friendly, always been really, really helpful. Anyone from Mystic, um, has jumped in and helped me and teach me to do better. And anyone from, John CZ who has 1,700 hours who absolutely beat my butt in a 1v1 was able to teach me why he was able to beat me and why he was able to get me here and why he was able to get me there. I feel like people in other competitive scenes are kind of more quiet and don't really want you to know why they are better than you. So it's been awesome to meet these other competitive teams and these actual pro teams and jump in with them and, kind of form those relationships that you don't really get in other communities.
Yep, that's so true. Our community seems to be pretty helpful most of the time.
Yeah.
Always advocated if you ask in a lobby and you say, "Hey, where'd you get me from?" The ones
Mhm.
that don't want to tell you are concerned that they're not good enough, right? That's the
Yep.
mentality. The ones that'll be like, "Oh, I got you from right here," because
Mhm.
eventually people are going to figure out what they're doing, right? One
Yep.
cast and their strats are gone. So
Mhm.
it's not about hiding your strats or maintaining your secrecy. It's about helping others and everyone learns, and the whole of like the competitive scene has gotten better and better hand over fist year after year. So
That's awesome to hear.
helping everyone get better instead of those top teams just maintaining their top status is that's no fun. No one wants that. Not even the top teams.
Mhm.
It's boring to play the same teams over and over.
Yeah,
You don't
I
want
can
that.
only imagine. Yeah, and that's kinda like we were talking about just a second ago, whenever it comes to getting those players that you wanna mold for your team, it's gotta be awesome, these past season players, and for someone like you specifically who's been with this game for so many seasons, to see these new players coming up and to see these new teams being formed and seeing what's coming out in the next competitive season.
Oh, I always love seeing new rookie teams join the league. I would love to see some more EU rookie teams join the league, but we
Yeah.
like to follow the rookie teams. When the season starts out, we try and watch a couple of rookie games, and then we try and come
Mhm.
back to them midway through the season or towards the end of the season before it gets into like the real finals territory, and you can see
Yeah.
the growth of those teams live. It's
Yep.
crazy. Like,
Yep.
you could watch people get lost on week 1. They play a map that they've never played and they're just wandering around, and then you come to like week 10 and they're communicating, everything just kind of flows together. And that's what we want to showcase when we do casts. We want good matches, of course, but I mean, teams have been putting out great matches. I haven't seen a bad
Mhm.
match in like 3 seasons. So,
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to the next season, and I'm really looking forward to potentially playing custom maps because that changes
Mhm.
everything. I think it puts everyone on a more stable level playing field, right? You
Yeah,
only
and
have
like we were
so much
saying, like
experience.
and those custom maps coming in and being able to add those from the community, it's awesome because it keeps the new strats coming. And you
Yep.
wonder that next game that you watch, I'm sure, especially as someone who casts, what are they going to do this time? What angle are they going to do this time? Where are they going to throw a grenade from this time? Where are their defensive players going to be set up? How are they going to hit on offense? So I'm sure it keeps you on your toes, especially.
Yeah, I can tell you, we played a custom match over the weekend that we had never played one of the maps, and we just basically ran until someone shot at us, and then we started shooting back. So
Yeah.
you kind of make
Yeah.
those strats up on the fly, and you
Yeah.
learn. But again, that goes back to sure, even if you didn't win, you learn from every time you get shot at.
Mhm.
That gets ingrained in your mind. You learn from losses. If you don't learn from a loss, then it's effectively a loss. If you learn from it, it's
Yeah.
not really a loss, and you're gonna come back.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, the first season that you play, I wouldn't even be concerned with placement, with ranking, with how much
Mhm.
you've moved up or down. It's not about that. It's about the growth. And then when you come back the next season, you're just going to be hitting so much harder than you started out, even at the end of the
Absolutely.
season. So that gives you that off season to work as well. So looking forward
Mhm.
to having all these new teams. Hopefully, we can get the league started up in a couple. I think I heard April 5th was the earliest potential start for season 11. So hopefully that comes
That'd be
true
awesome.
and we get some game updates before then. But I'm looking forward to it. Season 10 was a banger. Season 11
Mhm.
is going to be just as good.
I'm excited for it, and I definitely hope we get to not only be a part of it, but hopefully keep kind of that high morale and high confidence that we've been bringing, and are able to expand that throughout not only our gameplay and, like I said, those regular pub lobbies, but also this competitive play that we'll get the opportunity here soon. So
All right, so before we get out of here, I hear you guys actually, you doing content creation, have a guy working on a recap video for your Onward Rookie Bootcamp.
yeah, we've actually been sitting on it and working on it. Hopefully, it'll be done within the next week. We kind of feel like losing our first game and then climbing the ranks and then being able to come out and push out on finalists kind of tells the story. And like I said, it shows our confidence, our ambition on improving and getting better and doing what it takes to overcome and win the whole series for that tournament. So we're kind of wanting to not only recap our gameplay, our losses, and our wins in that whole tournament, but also show the competitive scene a little bit of content from our side and what we're able to do and what we're able to offer for the community. And then also show these other rookie teams, kind of the outline of here we are, a team who's never played in a tournament before, a team who's never had any kind of skill-based matchmaking together. And other than, like I said, public comp lobbies, jumping into a full-on tournament with other rookie teams as well who have the same accomplished goal and kind of coming out on top. So we're excited for that to be out. That should be out, like I said, within, if not this weekend, then sometime mid next week. So you'll be on the lookout for that. Like I said, if you go to our VRML page, not only to be recruited, there's also that join Discord button on there, and we'll post it in there as well as probably some of the other Discord servers that the community shares. So it'll definitely be in there. Just be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, and we have that creators content channel now in the Onward VRML Discord. So if you or your team has content, make sure to post it in there, get it shared around. And if you and your team want to be next up in this series of interviews, hit me up on Discord or hit up one of the casters. They'll get the info to me. We can set these up. We can let you ramble about how you feel about Onward, how you feel about your team, whatever you really want to talk about. It doesn't necessarily have to be Onward related. We're doing community spotlighting here. We could bring you back on and we could talk about photography for 30 minutes. It's, it's
absolutely.
whatever. We want to
and
highlight our community.
I love it because, like we were talking, man, this content and this kind of interaction between the community and VRML and content creators in between each other are the only thing that's gonna not only get my name out there, get your name out there, get Onward's name out there, but also that this community is here. We are inviting people to come in. We are inviting people to come join us, even if they don't have Oculuses and they can't play. Come watch a match, come watch a tournament, come be a part of editing a highlight reel for some other team, come in and drop fan art. So I think this is very important, and I'm glad you're doing this, and I'm very, very thankful not only for you inviting me on this, but also taking the time to get this done. So excited for it to come out. I'm super excited to see who else is on here in the future, and absolutely I'd love to come back whenever you decide to have me.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this interview. I am your host, caster, captain, Triple Nipple of the VR Master League, and I'm joined by my guest, Shot in Frame from Hell from Above. And we will see you next time on the VR Master League interviews.